Want to talk tonight about the digital ID. Digital ID. Now, anybody out there have their Trident ID? CG's people still commenting. Let me read some of your comments. CG says an outside agency would have to do that investigation. Nobody about here ain't touching nothing this woman do. There you go. The only people that can change this, it's you and I, CG, when you go to the polls. Just even looking at this situation here, people should realize that a mistake was made in 2018. We were scammed in 2018. 2018 was a big scam, just like this vaccine scam. It is just that there might have, based on the allegations, because they said they never got the vaccine. I'm going off what is reported in the papers. And that the party in Trinidad did not produce the vaccines. That's what is being reported. So I'm just saying that. Could it be that a scammer scammed the scammers? Was it that, as a question, was it that a bigger scammer scammed the scammers? Was it that? Gotta think, because there's some people, let me tell you, they know, because people said it is alleged that the person was all in the whole lot of jewelry and everything. So it could be, is it that a bigger scammer? That's why I hope they never get back a red cent. There is, I don't know if it applies in this case, but there is just a proverb that came in my mind. I'm not saying it applies in this case. You can decide. But my grandmother I was saying that said, thief from thief, God laugh. I don't know if it applies. It just came in my head and I said it. Oh, wow, somebody read my mind. Why you read my mind? And you're trying to say it relates to this case. I'm not saying it relates to this case. It just came in my mind and I said it. And another one again. What we need to do, CG, we need to go through the White Oaks again. Break it down like what I did tonight. How many of you think we need to do that? Because somehow it's like we're forgetting. We were scammed in 2018. When we're told that day one, they're going to give us the integrity in public life bill. And people believe them and they say, get rid of them, lock up the DLP, lock them up. Huh? You remember that? Lock them up, lock up Sinclair. He was the Minister of Finance. Lock up this one. Lock up Michael Lashley. Lock them up. Hey, you remember? Where is Sinclair now? You were scammed. You were scammed. It's a big scam that happened 2018. One of the biggest scams in Barbados. I tell you, look at the person involved with the only two vaccine scams in the entire Caribbean. One person involved in the two. Name called in the two. And you will see why a master scammer scam you in 2018. Oh, yes. Go back and read the documents when Prime Minister Rowley is who recognized the scam and told the Prime Minister from, I believe it was St. Kitts. If I'm wrong, you can let me know. And call the name of the other leader and said, well, that leader is who Baba connected me. Follow what I'm saying? Follow what I'm saying? These are all leaders on the same level. So the leader who was the CARICOM chair at the time accepted the call that came in because of the name of another leader that was called, that you know very well. You were scammed. Just looking at these two situations, you were scammed in 2018. They said that they were going to lock up Sinclair. Listen, go back and watch the all of the political speeches. They were going to lock them all up and put them all in jail. What is Sinclair? They gave Sinclair a job. Yes, at the World Bank. They took him and elevated him, and he's now working with their campaign. Scammed. You were scammed by master scammer. Master scammer. Scam you. I'm not saying that Sinclair was guilty of anything. I am just repeating what they said. Huh? What about Michael Lashley? Huh? What about Michael Lashley? I don't know if Michael Lashley do anything, but I remember talking to people from their side, because I always loved Michael Lashley, and they had a long list of things they were telling me. My eyes nearly dropped out of my head. And I could not believe it. But guess what? Look at the position that Michael Lashley has now. You were scammed. Master scammer scam you again. Oh, yes. I heard from good sources, that when the statement was made that they are going to raise the years of the pensionable years for the for them, the MPs, that you were scammed. They have no intentions of doing it. I heard from inside there. Scammed. You hear what I tell you? Master scammer scam us. Right? Yeah? Let me tell you something. Yes, you remember lots of evidence in this red bag to lock up the DLP. And they campaigned on what a corrupt DLP it was, and how they were stealing money. And that's why it was based on that, why they said that they were going to do what? Based on that, they said, because they were so corrupt, they ran a campaign on transparency and accountability. Dave has this on there, and I suspect you want me to read this, Dave. Let me read this. I had something else planned for you, but I'm going to read this. I'm going to go as the Lord is leading me tonight, because I want your eyes to be open. I prayed before I came on the show that God himself would open the eyes of Barbadians. You need to see the people in government that you have leading you, who these people are. And as long as God gives me breath in this body, I am going to say what he tells me to say. Now, former St. Lucia Prime Minister Alan Chastanet confirmed on Tuesday that his administration had hired Radical Investments, operated by prominent local developer Mark Maloney, to procure the AstraZeneca vaccine as part of a regional bulk purchasing arrangement between the Barbados, St. Lucia, and Bahamas governments. That arrangement is now the subject of a suit filed recently in the United States District Court for the Southern District of Florida by Radical Investments agent against Good Vibrations Entertainment LLC. You see what I tell you? Somebody could have used a Good Vibrations Entertainment to procure vaccines. When even AstraZeneca put out a statement that they don't deal with, they don't sell vaccines like this. What was this all about? Good, somebody, those are the people in charge of your health. What if they had sent back water? Suppose a scam, it was like a major scam, and they sent back water inside the thing. Probably some people's lives would be saved. But anyway, what if something dangerous was sent back to people to put in their bodies? Good Vibrations Entertainment and a construction company. Barbados government, have you lost your mind? The purported supply of the vaccines and a number of other businesses and individuals involved in the attempt to purchase the vaccines. The order for the jobs was never fulfilled, leaving the plaintiff millions of dollars out of pocket. Was he scammed? But Minister of Health and Wellness on Tuesday flatly denied knowing any such company. He says, I'm afraid I do not know anything about Radical Investments Limited, so I cannot comment on this one. And shortly after he resigned. But Chastanet, whose United Workers' Party was ousted from power at the polls on July 26 this year, said his former government entered the arrangement because Barbados and the Bahamas were taking part, and because Radical Investment was a reputable business. We worked through Radical. It was on the basis of the reputation of Radical and the fact that 3 countries were involved: Barbados, the Bahamas, and St. Lucia. The XPM disclosed. No mind, when you calculate, they were getting these vaccines at, ridiculous. The taxpayers would have to pay through their teeth. Asked if Radical was a St. Lucia or Barbados company, Chastanet replied, I'm not sure. I just know, Mr. Maloney, based on our research, we are alleging that it is a Barbados company. The former PM said he did not know if Maloney owned or operated the company, that it was also in Barbados. It appeared to us. We could be wrong, right? Pressed as to whether Radical had a track record, he declared they would have had a track record, yes, of procuring vaccines. It was very difficult. Right, and it goes on. So that's what we will finish with that piece. Let me read some of your comments here. Yes, he is. All about money. That's the thing. We need to speak with our votes. If this has happened in any other country with a proper opposition, I am telling you, that would have been the end of that government. They would have had to go call an election. We see from past and recent history that when any government tread upon the rights of the poor, they live to regret those actions. And that was what was happening. They were treading on the rights and upon the poor, because we would have to pay for that. Yes? No, she doesn't care. She does not care. They said that they would come to the people about all they do. Yes. Who remember? You remember that they also said that they were going to do, they were going to consult to the people about the republic. You remember that? Yes. Never did. Never did. This is serious business, Barbados. Scammed. 2018 was the biggest scam for us. NIS and income tax scams. We're scammed when they came and they wrote off all of that money that they owed, that we put in the NIS, said that we wrote it off. You remember that? Scammed. Whenever you think of 2018, just think of scamming. Scamming. She had a big red bag, and we don't know what she had in the bag. Did we ever see what she had in the bag? Ask yourself that question. I could pick up any bag here. Dave passed me that bag there. I could pick up any bag, and I can pick up a bag and do like this, right? I can pick up a bag and I can say all kinds of things in this bag. Did anybody ever ask themselves, did they ever see what was in the bag? Who saw what was in the bag? How do we know it wasn't theater? I come and I say, I have this big bag. I have this bag. And you don't know. I got this bag and everybody going to jail. You remember? And yeah. And let me see. Who saw what was in the bag? Look how they trick you. I can't say what Stephen said, but read Stephen comment. Who saw what was in the red bag? Tell me. Who saw what was in the red bag? Tricks and lies and theater. You were scammed. And whatever you all do at the polls again, remember that you were scammed in 2018. And when 2022 came around, you know what? They came and they told you, you don't need an opposition. You must never forget that either. They came and told you, you don't need an opposition. You see, I can't even leave this yet. I need to go on to the next topic. Miss McLean is coming on at 8:30. Dave, can you just double check that she has the pin for me, Dave? The link? Thanks, Dave. Anybody saw what was in the red bag? Theater. They sat down and they planned it out. And they come and they flash a piece of paper and they do all of that. The only thing that they had, they sent their Chinese man inside of the people computer. They hacked into DLP and took out their manifesto. They're transparent like blackout curtains. You're right. Scammed. I tell you, go look at the name. One name run through the two scams. And you're going to realize who scammed you in 2018. Who scammed you? Yeah? You sat on this program and you heard the other day, I listened to Stephen Lashley. And all the things that Stephen Lashley was able to say that was done under the DLP whether you're a BLP watching or you're not into the DLP or whatever the case is. I am telling you that go back and look at that era again for yourself. Did they make mistakes? Yes, they did. And one of the biggest mistakes that they made, they did not come to the people and tell the people why they were trying for us not to go to the IMF. They did not sit down and explain like what we're doing on the show and breaking things down. That was also a big problem that they had. Did they have people in there that was involved in corruption? I believe they did. Was it all across the board? No. Did they sit down for 10 years and did nothing? Lies. But we were scammed. And some people are still hooked in line and sinker. The red bag could have been empty. They hate average Barbadians. There's a show that I research and I want to do for you, Barbados, to bring some facts for you about what happened in slavery and after slavery in terms of us owning land and property and why that bill has to, they need to keep it in the garbage. I'm going to show you on the show that tourism accommodation bill and all that is happening, all that was happening is to protect these same players, the same construction magnate. All of that bill is to protect them and protect some of the same politicians' names that were called because they have their big hotels. Ask them who owns the hotel down there in the old Caribbean hotel that look like it lean and falling in. How many of the MPs own hotels? Ask the question. So you think they're going to let the small man and the little with their Airbnb and the little one room that they're renting out, you think they're going to let it happen? You think they care about you? They'll be happy and say, oh my goodness, Mavis' granddaughter, you know, her mother died and left the house to her. And look at what she's doing. She's doing it, renting it as an Airbnb, you know, and that young girl is doing so well. You think they're happy about that? No, because them and their friends have big hotels that they're putting up and villas. So they can't let Miss Mavis' granddaughter that live down the road get anything. She must eat anything. She can't eat her food, as we would say in Jamaica. They won't let the average man eat a food in this country. As you start to eat the food, they come and they box it out of your mouth. They go just like that and box the food out of your mouth. That's what they do in this country. Look and see. Everything you think you're getting a little, you're going around and you're getting something, poops, out of your mouth. It's gone. And my time is totally gone. Yeah. They must take pages out of the BLP books, but not with lying and tricking the people. I'm hoping. Do you think Barbados has learned its lesson? Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're keeping down the average. Everybody right now, because I was going to talk about the same ID, which I'm going to just speak about it a little. They make sure Miss McLean has the link, please. Thank you very much. Thank you. Listen, folks, I just feel to roll with this tonight, and I want you to I want to show you, my people, my Bajan people, how much this government does not care for the small businessman. doesn't. You had people who were buying things from overseas and selling. From the moment they went in, what did they do? Look at the duty that have been put on. I spoke to some young men that were bringing in equipment, different little things. Young, when I say young, in their 30s, they're trying to make ends meet. They're trying to do something for themselves. They told me, Miss Weeks, we had to stop. The government basically mash up that business. Mm-hmm. They're creating, Jacqueline, enslaved individuals, poor and broke. That's what they're doing. And then on top of it, the tricks that they're doing, all the tricks about the ID, telling us at first they come and they said everybody had to pin the ID. If we didn't push back on it, guys, she would not have come and said, well, everybody don't have to pin it just yet. She says pinning is going to be necessary. Dr. Ferdinand is going to do that tomorrow. I'm just going to mention it tonight. Right? And if any time at the end I want to break down some stuff to you about the ID. But I'm going to let the comment section speak now. The next couple minutes before Miss McLean comes on, let me hear the comment section. Comment section, this is your turn. Comment section, I want you to write me one thing, one policy that this government has put in place where the small businessman, business person is able to progress. There is prosperity. Write me one. Write me, this is your time. Write me the policies that have been put in place. Not just talked about, but put in place that have helped small business people in this country. While you are thinking of it, let me remind you of something. Who were the people, business people, most affected by the lockdowns? Who were the business people that they had in court, dragged in court in this country? You remember who they were? You remember that little Indian man that was opening up the shop, had his son in university, opening up his shop, and they caught him, took the man in jail, and the man dead in jail. You remember him? Businessman, small businessman. Yes. Not them and their friends, not the merchant class, not the white people. Look, go back and look at all the people that they lock up over this COVID thing. We're only good for service jobs. Actually, Michelle, I think it's you who sent me something. And I forgot to put it up. Where they had some job fair. It was on CBC. If you can send it back for me. And you should see the jobs that they are offering the people. Those hotels, we will have to service the hotels with maids, cooks, gardeners, cleaners. You don't see that is slavery all over again with this government. That's what they think of us. We can't have no Airbnb. We can't make any money. And that's why I say kill the bill. Kill the bill and mash up the plan. Kill that bill and mash up their plan. Wickedness to the highest degree. Injustice. Unrighteousness. That bill must live, Barbados. See the light of day. We standing up now. It's our turn now. We gonna make some money. Every house in Barbados. Look at the tourists love the Airbnb. Let us make some money. all those 9-story hotels that they want to put up in whole town. Let cobweb live inside of them and monkey bathe in the monkey go and bathe in the pools. Let monkey jump from place to place. And let cobweb and lizard live inside of them. Barbados, as long as we live in here, that bill, they must not put any kind of restrictions on the Airbnb and the small rental properties. None. And while they're at it, you're going to give us some concessions. Huh? That's how we negotiate, and we not play, because this is not slavery. We mustn't own anything. We're too black to own anything. How many black people own those hotels that are going up? How many black people are going to be developing Pierhead? Show me them. Only those that get in the kickback in government. As far as I am concerned, that bill should never stay in the garbage and flush it down the toilet. Our turn now. Small business turn now. Enough. We're done with that. All of this scamming people. Every time you look around, all these hotels, that's the only reason. And they blackmail them and tell them, guess what? Election coming up, we can take care of you. You imagine, you believe, you know what it would mean for a small somebody with an Airbnb to know, man, if I bring in some furniture, I don't have to pay any duty on them. You know, I could make my place a little nicer for the tourists. You know how they would feel? Huh? I have friends who have Airbnb. You know how that would make them feel? That they could bring in some furniture and put inside their home and make the place look better. And they could get the duty off of that. Because you know the duty is high. They don't give it to them. They give it to the people that own the villas. And most of them don't look like me and you. Well, it's over. Listen, Barbados, you must get serious, you know. Get serious on them. Run out on them and tell them, no, that bill, Barbados, must not see the light of day. It is cruel. It is oppressive. It's economic oppression. It's economic slavery. All we are good for is what? We can come around hotel, but we can't own nothing. We can't be part of tourism. All we must do is walk and smile at tourists. They tell us, oh, treat them lovely. Treat hospitality. We must do their skin our teeth. We must skin our teeth the whole time and don't make no money. Huh? All we can do is skin our teeth and smile sweetly and help the tourists. But we mustn't make no money off of tourism when it's the biggest sector. As far as I'm concerned, that bill must kill and dead and bury. You understand?